In any other country, men would weep, priests would renounce their gods, children run crying to their mothers. But in Uruguay, it is beloved, revered. It is in fact the national dish. All of this, everything you see, still this. Yes, this too. Oh yes, it's all going in. It's the Titanic, it's the Mount Everest. It's a sandwich. Behold, the mighty Chivito. Welcome to Chiviteria Marcos, a popular spot to risk gastric rupture by staring meekly into the abyss of mind-scrambling sandwichness.
Those chivitos? By the way, I have to admit, since we got here, I've actually had a couple of these in a street.
I've had a couple of them already.
Chris, this is irresistible. I mean, I walk down the street, I see, meat, cheese, bacon, ham on a bun with a bunch of other stuff. What do you think? I'm gonna let that pass? Especially after plain food?
After the Chivito master assembles and heats the basic ingredients, customers choose from a selection of additional toppings, a selection equal to the GDP of some larger nations.
Behold, come on in. Look at this. My God.
What end do you start at? Where do you even begin?
It's like Everest. You really have to sit there and look at it for a while, figure out how best to attack it. I mean, it's unbelievable. The delicate interplay of ham, bacon, juicy beef, onions, hard-cooked egg, lettuce, tomato, mozzarella cheese.
Mine has olives in it.
Hot peppers and sweet red peppers. Mayonnaise with chunks of hearts of palm in it. They don't skimp on the mayo either. It's like...
No, they slather it. It's almost silly.
And people get even kookier and crazier in other incarnations. The bread is kind of good, too.
Yeah.
It's got a cakey quality that's nice. It's just dripping and squirting and doing all sorts of god-awful things.
It's squirting a lot.
There's no cutting wedges off it. You'll end up wearing it.
I think I am wearing half of mine anyway. I can tell this is going to be around a 25 napkin meal.
This is a sorry-ass excuse for napkin.
I think I'm going to open a napkin stand in Montevideo. You should have little hand wash basins next to every table.
This is just a lot of finger licking involved because everything.
Napkin number 12 here.
Never eaten a sandwich. It's like herding cats. I mean, they're everywhere. The elements are just, it's anarchy now.
Yeah, it's getting worse by the second.
There's still a meal there. It's really kind of the gift that keeps on giving. I need to drink more beer and ponder this. How did this become the national dish? I mean, it should be. But this isn't got to be killing people in droves.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen too many cardiac wards driving around, but...
People are in pretty good shape in this country.
Yeah. I wonder when they invented these. Did they have them in the 1800s?
I think this is the greatest sandwich ever in the history of recorded sandwichdom. This is it. This is the king.
I think the bacon made it,
Well,
Just
doesn't it always?
Bacon's good at everything.
Time to waddle off into the sunset. I guess we've learned something here today, Chris. Bacon, cheese, and beef are apparently not enough, but there's so much more.
The shell of Montevideo's central railway station.
The shingles in the roof are coming off. Time stopped.
My brother, by the way, was a train nut as a kid. It was his only vice. While I chased the many splendored attractions of illegal chemicals, counting off years in bong hits, my brother apparently chased trains and train tracks leading, I don't know where. Old train stations being a subject of particular interest.
I think I read that the last train out of here was sometime in the 80s or something.
This one's chained up, and we ain't getting in.
So I spent my teenage years breaking into abandoned structures like that.
And I've pretty much moved on to the next thing, as I tend to do. In that vein, I say, follow me, brother. I am, after all, a professional. I do this for a living.
Chris, this might seem at first glance to be out of the way, maybe even inhospitable neighborhood, but But oh no, tempted by the sound of indigenous percussion instruments in the distance, and a smell I recognize from my years of traveling as chorizo early in the cooking stages, I thought this would be a sweet, we should come down. It's an incredible, some say God-given gift. What did I tell you? Sausages.
Yes, it's chorizo. Grilled on a makeshift barbecue, butterflied and slapped between hunks of bread like the sandwiches we used to eat in France as kids. Just happen to be there, too.
Gracias. Done to perfection, my friend. These citizens will need a drink soon. I'm sure of it. Let us hang out with these people until such time as perhaps a stranger will offer us a beverage.
And yes, thank you, my good man. What do we have here? Siete y tres, 7 parts red wine and 3 parts Coca-Cola. A delightful indigenous beverage. And now, Chris, now, thanks to the strange and terrible powers at my command, behold, music. And perhaps a beloved, nationally recognized authority on the music we're hearing.
Bueno, yo soy Waldemar Silva, Waldemar Cachila Silva, que es un apodo. Yo tengo este conjunto que se llama 40-10-80.
And it's Candombe, an orchestra of drums.
La base de lo que es el candombe es pura y exclusivamente el tambor, nada más, solamente el tambor. Candombe es una descendencia de ritmos africanos. Se creó acá en el Uruguay. Es pura y exclusivamente uruguayo el candombe. Había mucha gente cerca de la ciudadela, que después de donde se hacían los esclavos negros, los vendían fuera de la ciudadela. Entonces este barrio fue donde se formó parte de lo que es el candombe hoy. El tambor es lo que forma el ritmo, forma la alegría de la gente y todas esas cosas. Es la familia. Estamos integrados en lo que es el candombe.
I can't believe this place hasn't been discovered. Everyone's going just back over this place. It's great. It's got it all. You can walk anywhere you want. We could have just wandered in here without a film crew, without anyone, and had much the same experience. I'm absolutely certain I could have walked up to that guy and said, "Let me have a drink," and he would have said, "Okay, we're an American, sure," you know.
Here we are, Chris, sitting here in this working class area of Barrio del Sur, and there just happens to be good food and drink, and there just happens to be music, and yet watch as the manufactured and the reality of the situation begins to meet and become indistinguishable. And within minutes, it doesn't matter anymore. It's real now, that completely uncontrollable magic happening when the locals start to mix with the hired musicians and families pour out of neighboring buildings, and our sad, stiff little sum up becomes magically a golden moment. It just happened 'cause we let it.